Hello everyone, welcome to Snowflake channel, and today we will discuss on the resource monitor creation. And here we will discuss on what is the use of resource monitor and how it will be beneficial for controlling the cost and what all parameters we can utilize it in a best way. And we will understand the different parameters from the resource monitor syntax. And coming to the usage of resource monitor, resource monitors are mainly used for analyzing and controlling the cost in a Snowflake accounts in terms of credit usage, as we know that the credits are defined based on the Snowflake editions. For standard edition it will be different, and enterprise edition, business critical edition, it will be higher than the lower editions. For that, to analyze and understand the number of credits used for a specific date range or a frequency, we can use a resource monitor. And resource monitor can be created at the warehouse level and at the account level. And at the warehouse level we can create a resource monitor only for one warehouses, and we can combine the set of warehouses and assign one resource monitor so that it will calculate the credit consumed for all the warehouses in a group. Please note that only one resource monitor can be created at the account level, and many resource monitor can be created at the warehouse level. And now let's understand the parameters in the resource monitor. The first, create or replace resource monitor with the resource monitor name has to be defined and with credit quota. So this is the number of credits which we wanted to set it at the maximum level, and the percentage of which we needed to get notify or some other triggers needs to be enabled when certain percentage of the credits get consumed by the resource monitor components. Here, as I said, the resource monitor components can be warehouse and account. The frequency can be set at the monthly, daily, weekly and yearly, and never. Example, I have set the credit quota as a 200, and if I set it to monthly, then for every month it will reset to 200 again. It won't continue to grow when the month gets over. The start timestamp is when the resource monitor is created, so from which time onwards the credit has to be tracked. So whether the credit consumption has to be tracked immediately or from the next month first date, so like that we can define it using the start timestamp. End timestamp is if you wanted to track the credit consumption from a specific date range, then we can use the end timestamp. Example, from first date to 20th date, then we can use the start timestamp first date of every month, and end timestamp is the 20th date of every month. Then it will track for that specific range. Notify users is the when the specific percentage of the credit will be consumed by the account or the warehouses, then it will notify the users or send out a mail to the users that these many percentage of credits have been consumed by the account or by the set of warehouses. The triggers are the main part of the resource monitor. So here there are three triggers. One is notify, suspend and suspend immediate. Notify is the least affected functions. So when there is a certain percentage of the credits consumed, example, I am defining that 75% of the 100 credits are consumed, then I wanted to get a notification. So I'll discuss more detail on this notify, suspend and immediate with an example. Here I'm creating a resource monitor with a DBA warehouse resource monitor with a credit quota of 100, and I'm setting frequency as a monthly. For every month it will reset to 100 credits, and start timestamp is immediate. So whatever the timestamp I'm creating, so from that day onwards it will start tracking the credit consumption. End timestamp I haven't defined. It means that it will take the start time, which is the start timestamp being mentioned, and month and date for the frequency of monthly. When I'm defining the monthly, then it will take the month and date. Notifying users are given as the interior user, which is the current user, and triggers. So these are the triggers which I'll be explaining in details now. So when the credits consumed by the warehouses, so here I haven't defined this resource monitor for the warehouse or account level, but let us consider I'm trying to define this resource monitor for the DBA warehouse. Consider from today onwards, the till the end of the month, 75% of the 100 credits, which is the 75 credits, are consumed. Then I will get a mail that 75 credits has been used by the DBA warehouse, and when the credits consumed will cross the 100, or when they will reach the 100, then the suspend function will be triggered, so with which all the running queries will be completed, and once finishing the running queries, the warehouse will go in a suspended mode. And once the credit will cross the 110 within a month, then all the running queries will be suspending immediately without fetching the result. It will abort the queries, then it immediately suspend the warehouse. So that's how, based on the criticality of the credits, we can use the triggers. Most probably we'll be using the notify and suspend, and when we are having a more stringent or the cost effective solution, then the suspend immediate will be mostly used. And when the resource monitor is created, then if you wanted to look for the resource monitor which has been created at the account level, then we can get it via this show resource monitor. So let me just create a resource monitor, DBA warehouse resource monitor now. Okay, resource monitor created, show resource monitor. Okay, DBA resource monitor with credit quota 100, use credits 0, remaining 100, frequency monthly, level. Here the level will be warehouse or the account level, start time, end time, end time. So all the whatever the parameters I have defined, so all these parameters will come into this table. So once the resource monitor has been created, so now I will be assigning to compute warehouse. So alter warehouse name, set resource monitor and the resource monitor name. And if I wanted to see whether the resource monitor has been attached to compute warehouse, then I can run the show warehouses like compute warehouse, with which if I go to the resource monitor tab from this result, then I would be able to see the resource monitor name. Here the resource monitor name is DBA warehouse resource monitor, which has been attached to this compute warehouse. If I now run the show resource monitor and see the level, it is warehouse level. So here we assign the resource monitor at the warehouse level, and if I wanted to assign the resource monitor at the account level, as I mentioned, then I can use the alter account set resource monitor and the resource monitor name. So it will track the credit usage by all the warehouses and the compute and all other features which will consume the credits will be tracked at the account level. To drop the resource monitor, then I have to use the drop resource monitor. It will drop the resource monitor. This is how we can create the resource monitor by using the SQL method. And if you are very much fond with the resource monitor creation using the Snowflake UI method, then we have to go to admin section, and in that cost management, here you could see that other features also available along with the resource monitor for tracking the cost and the credit consumed based on the warehouse level, or even for the database level as well, we can track it. So how the database level? So database level mainly in terms of the storage, and the warehouse by the compute wise. Here we can change the date range and track the credit consumed. However, as our interest is on the resource monitor where we wanted to get a notify using the mail, for that we need to use the resource monitor. Now let us create the resource monitor using the UI method. So I'll be giving the resource monitor 1 and the credit quota as 100, and the monitor type right here, is it at the account level or at the warehouse level? Let me try creating at the account level. Here schedule whether they start monitoring immediately. By default it came like this, so however we can customize it. Start monitoring from the next month onwards. For that I have to go to the custom start date and start monitoring from the first date of this April. Then for that I have to go to custom start date, then click on the 1st of April, then custom end date. If I wanted to end it at a particular date, then I can define it, or if I don't specify it, then it will take the end date of the custom start date month. Range will be mainly useful. I want to track for us 1 year or set up a year, then it will be useful. But however, a range is not much useful when we use the custom start date along with the reset monthly. I will give apply. Here you could see the start monitoring from the April 1st, then end monitoring is never reset monthly. From April 1st to end of the April, it will be tracking. Then again on the May month it will be reset to the 100 credits. I'll be setting 75 percentage of the 100, which is 75 credits, into notify function. If I don't want to go for this suspend and suspend immediately, I can just add it one more tab which will come as a notify. So for that I can give, again I wanted to get a notification, so when the credits goes up to 90%, then create resource monitor. However, you could see that here notify users option is not coming, so for that we have to go to the SQL method and add notify users. And now to add the notify users to the resource monitor which we created by using the UI method, for that first I'll be running the show resource monitor. Then I can see the resource monitor has been created. Then I need to run the alter resource monitor and set notify users and the usernames in a brackets. Here I'm just notifying to only interior users, so for that I'm giving notify users to interior. Run it. Then if I see the show resource monitor, RM1 is there and notify users interior, and if you see the level is account. That's it for this video. Please let me know in comments if you wanted to cover more details for any of the functions or parameters of this resource monitor. Thank you.